Hey world, it's being want to come back with another video. Friend, I want to come back to this video because I was pontificating on some things, and I know going back and forth to Austin. I go to Austin every weekend, and in Austin, if downtown area, you hear about South by Southwest and Sixth Street, and you hear about that. But what you don't hear about is the high number of homeless people living under the bridges right downtown area. And I'm talking about for like maybe a mile or two, like from 6th Street, from 6th and 35 all the way to like 38 and a half. From 6 to 38 and a half, you got homeless, living under the bridge. And that's downtown, where the state capitol is located, and this and that and the third, right? And even in H-Town, I live in Houston, even in H-Town, guys, you're homeless everywhere. And I don't know where, where the family members, where you guys are located. I know I got family all over the place. And I know you guys probably see the homeless out there. And you just got to ask yourself, right? If all these billionaires and multimillionaires are so philanthropic, then how do we still have the number of homeless people, or the number of families being evicted, or the number of people without health care, or the number of children or students that want to go to college and can't go to college because of finances, right? What are these quote unquote philanthropists actually doing with the money? Because remember, charity and philanthropy is a tax write-off. 501c3s are organizations designed or created for actually for the community. It's actually supposed to be for the people. It's called a 501c3. It's called a nonprofit organization, right? And if it's nonprofit, that means, you're doing what is going to help those that are less fortunate. I mean, that's basically what they say philanthropy is supposed to be about, okay? But family, I got to do the research. Hold up, family. I had wrote down a couple things. Family, there's over like 260,000 philanthropic foundations, okay? Over 260,000, right? Billions and billions of dollars are going in, to philanthropy. But you probably ask yourself, if that's the case, right? Where is the money going? I mean, if they donate their money, wouldn't they be donating their money to, the less fortunate? I mean, that's what philanthropy is supposed to be about. To help those that are less fortunate. I mean, if you're a billionaire, multimillionaire, and you want to give back, you want to donate your money, wouldn't you be donating your money to those who don't have? Right? Not the case, family. Not the case at all. Hold up, I got just a minute. I had wrote it down here. Let me see here. Oh, here we go. I grabbed the wrong paperwork. And like I said, just something I was just thinking about. Okay? Something I was thinking about. One fifth of all the donation, all the monetary donations, only 1/5 of those donations go to the, low economic, or go to the poor, or go to the less fortunate. Only 1/5 of all those donations go to that. So you got to ask yourself, if only 1/5 is going to that, then where are all these rich billionaires donating money? Now remember, that's why I always say pay yourself first. Those that are being taken care of by the government on welfare, housing, food stamps, Medicaid, that's the government. But guess what? When you say the government, right, that's really the people. That's us. Those are taxpayers' money, right? So when you talk about welfare, when you talk about the police officers, the firefighters, and the teachers, that is us. We are the true philanthropists. Now, is it by choice? No, because they take it out our taxes. They take it out our wages, our income. And they use that money to accommodate those that are more important to our society. Remember, without firefighters, without teachers, police officers, and I say police officers with a caveat that, guys, remember, these rogue officers, that doesn't in no way, no form of fashion, make up the majority of the police officers out there that are doing their jobs every day and risking their lives every day. And see, I'm not going to co-sign for that. Okay? Now, is it a culture? Is it systemic? I have to say that there is a system of racism because there's not a lot of leaders that actually created the infrastructure of what they call policing today. Remember, police is supposed to be community-based, meaning those from your community are the police officers, right? But when you bring in strangers in your neighborhood, they have no really, motivation or there's nothing intrinsic for them to actually want to, secure or treat people the way they would treat their own family. And that's why to be a police officer, a firefighter, a teacher, a doctor, a nurse, if you're not an empath, if you don't love individuals, then you should not be in that profession. See, I don't think it's, police officers. It's the type of police officers that they hire. And it's the type of systemic or generational type of perception that they have of policing. That's the problem. You can't give a young man a gun and then on the television from a kid, he sees that there's a group of people that's perceived to be criminals all his life. That individual is going to look at that particular group of people in a shaded fashion. You're going to fear them, right? So it's not the police officers, okay? It's this systemic culture. It's this racist culture. It's the fact that we still want to separate African Americans from Americans or the minorities from non-minorities. Of course, there's going to be some type of prejudice. There's going to be some bias. Of course. So until you change the culture of this society, of this country, it ain't about no police officers. It's not about that. It's a racist country with racist ideologies. And the more conscious you become, the more conscious you will be able to understand, okay, hey, come on, man. You can't tell us slavery was an abominable act, but then you still have slave owners that you call your, founding fathers. If an individual has been this great person for all these years in the public, but then you find out that they was a rapist and child abuser, you don't give that person the same respect. If we know that these individuals that are on Mount Rushmore, these individuals that y'all call founding fathers, were slave owners, allegedly, or slave owners, y'all say that, then why would we look at them, in the same respectful light that's disingenuous to so-called African Americans? It doesn't make sense. So when you have this group of people that say, we want to preserve our history, but then you have this group of people that say, no, we need to, get rid of that ideology, erase that ideology, because you can't tell me for 1 minute erasing historical ideologies or cultures is something that's frowned upon in this country. Because remember, I don't know my original language. If we are different from the quote unquote pilgrims and all that kind of stuff, then what was our original language? What was our original religion? Foods, okay? you can't say, let the past be the past. Or we want to erase it. We can't erase our past. When you've erased a whole nationality of people's past. And have this one group of people think that from the 1500s that we were just slaves. If you can't say where this group of people that you say you brought over here, you can't even give us the country, the history of the country, who sold us, all of that, then it's bull. Okay? So I just want to come back with a little food for thought. I just think it's kind of crazy when you talk about philanthropy, when you talk about, all these billions of dollars being donated, but a lot of the money is going to what? Arts, sports teams, cultural pursuits, elite universities. Because remember, a lot of the money that they donate to education is going to colleges like Harvard and Stanford and Yale. Billionaires and rich people, they supporting the colleges that their kids go to. I just seen in the news today that Bank of America is going to invest $50 million in 3 black-owned banks. Code for we're about to take over these black-owned banks and make them our banks. Why would Bank of America invest? And they have this initiative where Bank of America is investing $1 billion into, alleviating racial inequality. And so they're gonna donate $1 billion over 10 years, which $1 billion, you got that probably in the sofa cushion. But you're gonna donate $50 million right now to 3 black-owned banks. Now, if I invest that type of money, I will want my return. So what is Bank of America really saying? You dig? So is that real philanthropy? Is it real philanthropy when in your country, in your city, in your state, in your country, that people are still homeless? There's a huge number of poor people. People are being evicted. People don't have food. Kids don't have supplies. Why would you donate money to people that already have money? Tyler Perry, you donate $250,000 to Lakewood Church, Joel Osteen's church. He's almost a billionaire. A little food for thought, family. Well, like I said, thank you for sharing, thank you for subscribing, and thank you for liking my videos. And in the meantime, between time, may the Most High Inside bring you joy and being with His out of 5,000.